What up, everybody? So, I do apologize for the lateness. It's been such a day. Had power outages back and forth, and actually, this was a planned outage, but it actually went a little longer than expected. So, we're gonna hop right into it because, I don't want to hold you up any longer because we have a lot to go through in such a short period of time. And I do want to say, hey, life happens. I start late. Life it gets in the way. But either way, I'll see you back in about 30 seconds. So just hold tight here as we go down and get some little bit of information and get you where you need to be so you can make that salary that you want. All right, hold tight. What up, everybody? This is Twisted Thursdays on the About That Water podcast show where we kind of get a little bit twisted on the ideas because there's a lot of stuff happening and we can't cover it all just by the pre recorded episodes. So if you haven't already, go ahead on and like and subscribe. For those of you who are new, just finding out the show, hey, my name is Anthony and we help you build strong financial habits. So we are here today to actually talk about how you are able to get more sleep and actually make more money. And a lot of people feel like, well, what are you talking about, Anthony? How come you are able to get a little bit more sleep but actually make more money? Well, let's think about it here. That the share with you some insight on that. You feel groggy in the morning. You actually feel like, oh man, I don't know what I'm gonna do. But then, you're like, I really do need to take some time and, take some sleep. So there's an article. Hopefully, you guys like my moving background. I actually did a lot of work to make that happen. Um, so there's an article back in, I want to say, what, 2016 or something like that, that talked about the CDC, and it was just actually talking about how sleep is very important for your economic costs and insufficient amount of sleep. So in the US, we obviously have a lot of problems with that. A lot of us actually work a lot of 9 to 5s. And on top of that, some of us work additional, maybe like a 5 to 8, just to make some little bit of extra income. Or even some of us are actually piling on the work where we're working at least 2 jobs, especially if we're working remotely at the same time. Okay. That is a lot right now. So sleep is one of those things that we kind of take for granted, and I'm one of them. I only get about maybe 4 to 5 hours of sleep, so I think I might be in this boat where it's like, I feel like I don't sleep enough. And some people will say that if you're broke, you're actually sleeping like you're rich. Like just laying in bed doing nothing, just hanging out. And I think that's really unfair. But if you think about it, you need the sleep to actually be the highest earner. So there was an article that was done by the Rand Foundation, and they state here just kind of given the potential adverse effects of insufficient sleep on health, well-being, and productivity. The consequences of sleep deprivation have far reaching economic consequences. Hence, in order to raise awareness of the scale of insufficient sleep as a public health issue, cor- uh, comparative quantitative figures need to be provided for policy and decision makers, as well as recommendations for potential solutions that can help tackle the problem. Now, I'm gonna just skip down because they're talking about some other things, but they talk about the deprivation is linked to higher mortality rates. So obviously, you need to sleep. If you're not getting your sleep, you can actually run the risk of losing your life. And here we always talk about what does wealth mean to you? And some of the people that I've interviewed, they actually said that wealth is health, okay? And if wealth is health, then let's make this an important thing. And in here, they say an individual that sleeps on average less than 6 hours per night has a 10% higher mortality risk than someone sleeping between 7 and 9 hours. An individual sleeping between 6 to 7 hours per day still have 4% higher mortality risk. So, we always talk about this, but what does it really mean to kind of help out the boost and the reason why people are doing such things? So it got me thinking, well, what other things are they talking about? So I did oh my gosh, there's a moth in here and around my lights. So if y'all see me freak out, it's a moth, okay? I don't like bugs. Bugs are irritating. So, and sadly, this is a live show. So, I'm trying to make it through with this moth running around here. I think I lost it somewhere. It might show up on my screen somewhere. All right, so it got me thinking. What does it? How does sleep impact us, right? So let's break this down. Either way, they try to say, sleep helps us make more money. But what does the lack of sleep actually do for us? And why it actually, what is the price that we're paying? So the lack of sleep actually boosts food purchases the next day. I never thought about it that way. So this is one of the things I want to bring up is that, I mean, I read all of these articles before, so I just want to just kind of highlight some of the key points that I thought was interesting. They said um, on here, they said that they did a survey. Everybody loves these surveys. So these people did a survey, and they said the finding comes from an interesting experiment done by a team of Swedish researchers. They asked 14 men to go grocery shopping twice. Once on the morning after a good night's sleep, the other on the morning after a night of no sleep. All were given the equivalent of $50 to spend and were asked to buy as much as they could uh, out as hold up, what? They were asked to buy as much as they could out of a possible 40 items, including 20 caloric foods and 20 low caloric foods. To make sure the men weren't hungry, they were fed a solid breakfast before grocery shopping. And that's interesting because one of the life hacks I even talked about before, which is if you want to spend less at the grocery store, you need to go head on and eat before you go shopping. How many of you out there have ever went shopping on an empty stomach and you wind up noticing that you bought everything but what you're supposed to be going to the store for? You know what I'm saying? It's ridiculous. So, I try to make sure I get some snacks, at least eat something. I know, right? Every single time. We got that right, Matt, because it's like, we up here sitting around trying to knock things out, and we up here buying everything under the sun when we're going shopping. So because they go on shopping, they fed a meal, which is a good criteria that they had in there because I can only imagine if they did not eat before they went shopping with the $40 and sleeping versus not sleeping. So they said the men bought more food and more high caloric foods the morning after deprivation than after sleeping well. So you can see the article about that. So, we already understand that sleeping well is important, but you actually spend more when you're not getting lack of sleep. So that means that because you're not sleeping enough, you're already spending more. Now it's like, well, what do we do now? How do we continue on and getting to sleep? So I found this other article by CNET that says turns out you can earn higher salary by getting a full night's sleep. More sleep equals to higher productivity and make you more money in the long run. All right. So we already understand that getting a lack of sleep, you're already buying crappy foods, even though you just had a healthy breakfast. And now we're starting to look into the performance of your sleep time. So, because you're already deprived of sleep, because you're broke, well, you're starting to spend more. Now you got sleep deprivation, which slows down your reflexes and your response time, and can even have more significant effect than alcohol. Okay. And I know we like to drink on this show, but we ain't gonna drink tonight because it's been a doozy. Like I said, I had the power outages and everything like that. So we're gonna get there. However, the Stanford researchers performed a test comparing the response times of sleep apnea patients and volunteers with blood alcohol content level of point 0.057, point 0.08, and point 0.083. The sleep apnea patients perform worse than those with a BAC of 0.057 in all seven measures, in the same or worse than the legal drunk volunteers in three of the measures. So this shows already that you need sleep in order to make money. We already talked about for those who have lack of sleep are already killing themselves. So therefore you're cutting off your income immediately, okay? So don't even worry about that. But going on to that next level, we start thinking about, all right, well, now that we know that they are performing horribly at that job with their reflexes, how are they doing with understanding their knowledge? Well, they say sleep helps restore part of the brain that retains knowledge, strengthening memories from throughout the day and priming your brain for learning new information the next. Sleep deprivation can reduce the ability to learn new information by up to 40%, according to the National Institute of Health. All right. So, what that means is that we are actually hurting ourselves. And if you have a hard time memorizing things, you're more than likely didn't get enough sleep that day, or your nutrition is horrible, your sleep is horrible. Now your knowledge is being impacted, which means that you can't even perform your job properly. Even if they put you through a new training, you're not going to remember that training. So because you're not going to remember that training, what are we doing here? Okay. Now we started talking about let's bring in the stress levels, right? We got the level of cortisol, the main hormone responsible for stress, increasing your blood. Then, when you don't get enough sleep at night, so because you're not getting enough sleep, you're already stressed the next day. You get people that's like super groggy, it is because their stress levels are high. You can just say, "Hey, is your cortisol low, man? Do you have enough cortisol in your blood right now, man?" No, you don't have to do all that, but you get what I'm saying. Now, and the very last thing that they have on this article is talking about the concentration of thought. Sleepiness can bring on a foggy feeling that makes it difficult to remain alert and concentrate. This can make it difficult to problem solve or make important quick decisions. Okay, you see how they tied that back up? Those quick decisions that you need for your timeliness. How many times have you guys actually ever, or have you ever, been so tired that when you actually were trying to remember things, it's just like, man, it's just so foggy. I don't remember. I don't know what's happening. I'm just trying to make the day the day. It's just another day, another time at work, another day, another dollar that you'll hear often. All right. So you guys hear about this. Now it's like, well, you know, Anthony, I know I said I'm not getting enough sleep. I know I feel groggy. And I'm like, okay, well, what do I do now? What can I do? I already know that I'm gonna lose money because of all of these things. So what can I do to kind of get better? So let's bring that back to the other article that I was trying to look far as what we can do for recommendations to move ourselves to that next level. So in order to move ourselves to that next level, let's see what these recommendations. I'm hopping around here because I want to hone in on the point of how sleep can actually impact us. And one of the recommendations that they have here is to improve sleep outcomes. Individuals should set consistent wake up times, limit the use of electronic items before bedtime, and exercise. Now, hey, you might be listening to this show live right now, and I know it might be your bedtime. Hey, I do apologize. Like I said, a lot's been happening, all right? So am I gonna get sleep deprived? Oh my gosh, this mouth is back. Um, I swear, it's like this big. It's a big moth. Um, yeah, it's really freaking me out right now. But there is a, you gotta understand, like, we as human beings, we gotta make sure that we take our time to rest up and take our time to take your electronic items to sleep mode. Have you ever noticed, like, on your phone, you have like the blue light filters? Like my phone, actually, I turned it on as a automatic option. So if you guys have an Android, I know some of you guys are like Apples only, but you can actually go inside your phone and turn on the blue blocker to be able to filter out your phone so it'll turn like a yellow feel. And that will allow you to kind of rest your eyes a little bit instead of it being all bright and light, which keep you stimulated for activity. So that's one of the things that you can do to kind of cut back on your time. Leave in the chat right now, like, what other ways are you doing to actually help get better sleep at night? Uh, Either A, are you exercising? Some of the things that they put on here, are you like turning off your smartphone, um, maybe an hour or two before bed? Are you doing some exercises? Me personally, I try to do at least 50 push-ups before I go to bed, or at least some type of exercise if I'm doing like leg lifts or a few squats, just to kind of, get that last bit of energy out myself so I can just knock out. You know what I'm saying? Hey, Carla. No, I'm not switching over to iPhone. You say on here smart invert on iPhone. So thank you for sharing that because you can actually do that. So let's see what else they have on here as a recommendation. So they have on here that employers should recognize the importance of sleep and the employer's role in its promotion. Design and build brighter workspaces, combat workplace psychological risk, and discourage the extended use of electronic devices. Now, if you're thinking about it, the word discourage, okay, the word dis means to separate. Okay, so if you're meaning to separate, you're separating the carriage. You're separating that, I guess, the courage to extend on the electronic devices. You're taking away um, that excitement to be on that device. So, as an employer, are your jobs actually helping you not be on electronics as often? Are they trying to do more in-person meetings? Are they saying like, hey, you know what, you've been sitting at your desk for, maybe an hour or two, just get up, take a break, rest your eyes a bit and come back to that particular problem. If your employer is not doing that, I implore you to go ahead on and take ownership of your life and your health, to go ahead on and tell your management, be like, hey, look, I just need a break right quick. I'm gonna go take a walk, or just go take a walk. Say like, hey, you're taking your bathroom break or whatever. And these are something that you can actually do at work to kind of help you out. So let's move on down to like what public authorities could do. The public authorities should support health professionals in providing sleep relative help, encourage employers to pay attention to sleep issues, and introduce later school starting times. Uh, this is one of the things, like, later school starting times. I'm trying to figure out where they're going at. Are they talking about for little kids, and you, as an adult, you gotta have your kids start at a later date, or are they talking about you as in just all the school systems start off at a later time? If they start later, which means that they gotta impact the employer times to start later, which then everybody's starting at a later time throughout the day. And if that's the case, then I'm feel sorry for some of the people who just can't manage their time at night to get some rest. So, those are some of the tips that they have for recommendations. I totally agree with majority of it, but I do disagree on the school late start times. And I really want to make sure that you guys are making the most out of your income and your time frame. Now, like I said, the reason why I wanted to have this discussion is because health is your wealth. So make sure you get enough sleep, make sure you drink enough water, make sure you eat the foods that you need necessary for your body. Some people will say, hey, I want to be on an alkaline diet, want to make sure I eat more alkaline foods, which helps cleanse the soul and everything like that. Cleanse the soul, cleanse the body, cleanse the communications and so forth. So you can actually concentrate every day when you go to work so that you can be all about that wallet. Boom. So, man, all right. My roadcaster is sounding horrible, so I won't be able to take calls today. For some reason, I had a lot of feedback in my microphone, and I could not get that to go away. Apparently, there's a whole thread about it and trying to fixing it. So maybe next week, when we start talking about different things, I can go ahead on and get that fixed up. So one of the things I do want to say before I get off here is that I had the awesome opportunity to interview someone to talk about life insurance. And if you have yet to check out this episode, I highly recommend it because you guys kept telling me or asking me about real estate and life insurance. And y'all were like, well, I need life insurance. I'm trying to figure it out. Hey, I got you, okay? This is what Anthony do. I'm in here to make this happen for you. All right. So this is the episode with Lashandra Harmon, the one that did the Financial Mommies book that I got over here. So let me blow this up right quick because I interviewed. So this is the book I told you, as promised. I released her episode, so y'all can go ahead on and check that out. It's called Girl Boss Up and Lead. And lead stands for leverage, elevate, accelerate, dominate. All right. Hey, what's going on, Royce and the team? Like I said, I ain't got my roadcast with my sound effects, but it does what it does. And this is her right here. So I interviewed her. We had an awesome conversation. So let's check out the first couple seconds to see what it. Yes, it do what it do. Carla, you know what? You're gonna get on my accent, okay? You're gonna be talking like we in Baltimore, right? One of these days. So anyway, do y'all like my moving background? Is it too much? Is it doing too much over here? So what up? Love yours, 899. Thank you. I greatly appreciate you for loving the show. Make sure you go ahead on and like and subscribe that joint because we gotta get up out of here. I mean, not get up out of here, but we gotta, what I'm saying? We want to get popular up in this place. So make sure y'all like so more people can find me. Let's see. Let's see what she had to say. Like I said, I put this like no 8-11 second up front.
They rate your credit. Many of them. Not all, but many of them do. The A-rated companies do look at your credit before they insure your auto, home, or you.
All right, so Lashandra was dropping a lot of gems in that episode. So we talked about credit and how it impacts your life insurance. We talked about how you have to, there's different types of credit. I mean, life insurance actually have their own credit scores. So if you don't know, you actually have a credit score with your life insurance. So it'll let you know what type of credit you can get. If you guys want me to play a little bit more, I can, because it's my show and promote myself, which is great. So let me, you know what, I'm gonna play a little bit more for you guys in case you haven't seen it yet. I mean, I know it's like 52 minutes in, but we talked a lot.
Right. And then also, I guess, passing down, because you mentioned earlier.
So let's see what she had to say.
Okay.
Or
So,
you're going to pay, or you'll be stuck paying premiums that you can't really afford to pay. Be a lot each year because it's going to change because your age is going and the cost of insurance per thousand is different. So say for instance, you have 100,000 at 20, you get 50 with a 30-year term. that cost of insurance is going to be way high from 20 for $100,000. It's going to be a lot.
Right.
So you rather get a policy that can convert so you don't lose out on the money that you've been paying. Because with a term, if you don't die, just shoveling money into the fire.
Okay, so to protect ourselves, first we sign up to get the insurance. Make sure it's convertible insurance.
Yep, make sure it's a convertible term insurance. Yep, if you're getting a term.
Okay, and then we make sure we get a lawyer to then draft us up a will.
A will or a trust. You want to get a trust, especially if you're owning property, business, and all of that. Yep, you want to get a trust so that way you have a trustee. And Lord forbid something happen, your things are together. It won't go to probate. No, and a will is contestable. Remember that. People think, oh, I'll just get a will. What if somebody come from out of nowhere? They can contest it. Whereas a trust can't contest the trust.
Interesting. Okay, now you got me going. All right, so we can make sure we got the trust. So after the trust, what parties? Because you said there's parties inside the
insurance
itself,
policy.
inside the insurance policy. Now with the trust, are there a certain set of people that we need to have in a trust now, like a team?
Well, a lot of times when you sit down with your attorney, like who you can appoint a court-appointed trustee, or you can have someone that you love near and dear to be your executor or trustee. So I want my sister or, my brother. I'll make sure that because they can't go past whatever's in my trust. They have to. They're just the ones overseeing that everything is properly done in my passing. They can't change it. They just got to make sure it's completely done.
Now, isn't there like one where it could be like have a financial person to kind of help divvy it out? It's like a financial person and part of the trust.
Well, you know what? It's not so much as the financial person is a part of the trust. You're sitting with your financial person.
Okay.
All right. So y'all guys get the whole point of that particular episode. Now, there's so much more information that we talked about, and I highly recommend you guys take a look into that episode. It just dropped. And so we went in on the different levels of making sure your insurance was there, making sure the trust was taken care of, making sure that all the parties that are necessary are informed, and also how to protect your assets. So please make sure you go on and check that out. Make sure you check out her book as well. So the episode that I have been coming out next week Tuesday, I might be start doing on Wednesdays, is going to be about real estate. So getting your first property, making sure that you are making the right choices with your finances and how to obtain your first rental property. So I'll look forward to that episode being released. So stay tuned, stay locked in, and let's give a shout out to the guests in the audience right now. So Carla, what you got going on? I said I'm definitely going to check it out. Yes, please go check that out. We went fully in. Okay, this is for you guys. Like I said, I'm learning the same way as you guys. All right. So I'm actually picking people that I know that's in the game that's doing it, and I get to pick their brains for free. All right. A lot of people actually charge for their services, and I'm trying to like, hey, if I see that they charging about $1,000 for their services, I'm bringing them on the show. Okay. If you guys got somebody that y'all think that would be great for the show, please let me know. You can shoot me an email at Anthony at aboutthatwallet.com. I think I got it on as a scroller somewhere around here. I don't have it as a scroller. You can always shoot me actual mail if you want to at P.O. Box 1877, Clinton, Maryland 20735. If you guys want to send me any mail, I'm always open to it. I like seeing mail instead of bills. I already gotta pay P.O. boxes and everything like that. But anyway, don't want to bother that. All right, you guys. Yeah. So if there's anything that you want to learn, like I said, I have a queue of 13 episodes coming out back to back. So I will be making sure that we have enough episodes for the rest of this year. So if there's somebody that you guys want to see, please let me know. And also, I've been trying to plan a little bit ahead of time, you guys. Not sure if you guys noticed that, but if you follow this show, and let's see if I can pull it up. I'm actually gonna have somebody come on the show to talk about um, life insurance and what we actually debunk. Because I actually had him on the show. I actually did a pre-recording, so I'm actually gonna talk about his episode a little later, which is John Easley, where we debunking whole life insurance advice from YouTubers. All right. So we're gonna be looking at other YouTube videos and be like, you know what, they lying. They don't need to be doing this. And you know how it goes. You know how people be up here lying all the time. But we want to make sure that you get the right information that you need, so that you can be successful. All right. Oh yeah, there go my little scroller. So yeah, make sure y'all like, subscribe, share, and please leave a comment on what you guys want to see in the future. You can always shoot me an email or shoot me a text or something like that so that I am aware so I can make sure I get those episodes out for you to see, okay? All right, everybody. Like I said, this is a short one, so you guys be safe. I don't have any drinks right now unless you guys want to drink. Actually, I do got drinks. Y'all got drinks out there? I got drinks. This is a Fireball. It's half hour. I know I'm running late, but we 30 minutes in. Let's make this happen. For those of you who are listening to the recording right now, if you want to hang up, fine, it's fine. But we're about to get these couple drinks in. Got my little Fireball ready. Don't tell your husband that, Carla. Okay? Okay. And yes, Carla, this is actually the Fireball from your place. Thank you. Because you had that whole bucket of Fireballs. I didn't even know they come in a bucket. But these joints be hitting every time. All right, let's play this music and let's go. Let's see. All right, I don't have my music downloaded to this thing, so I can't even play it. So I guess we're gonna have to play some other like music. What else we got on this thing? Like pre-recorded stuff. I didn't put this one. What they got on this? Can't get jiggy with this music. Low. Let's see what they got. Something I can drink to. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. Whatever. Yo, you know what? I have to find that song. Hold on, let me see if I can find that song because, like I said, my Rodecaster is not connected, and I have all the music on my Rodecaster. Just give me one moment here so I can find my music. But in the meantime, while I'm trying to find my music here, because I know y'all guys love that song so much. In the meantime, what we can do is some pod decks, so we can ask some questions. And I can get my pod decks app going while I find my music. All right, hold tight while I play this commercial.
This episode is powered by Pod Decks. Pod decks are unique interview questions and episode starting prompts in the palm of your hand. So whether you're a new podcaster or existing broadcaster looking to grow your audience and have more meaningful conversations, you're going to want to check out Pod Decks. Now, if you want to get 10% off your order right now, you can go to poddex.com and type in coupon code. What's the code? Yes, that's the code. Check out poddex.com. Take your podcast to the next level.
Alrighty, so for those of you who are listening, for those of you who are listening, Poddex. If you go to poddex.com or you can just go aboutthatwallet.com/poddex. Or if you go to Poddex, you can actually put in the promo code wallet. That's WALLET. So you can go ahead on and get yours today. All right, get your set of Poddex. So the Poddex question. Hopefully, I can add this song so I can get it up there. All right. No, they said the file size is too big, Carla. So I can't add the song. I wonder if I can play it, and will it play it through the headphones? Can y'all hear that or no? Yeah, I probably can't hear. Ooh, you know what? I can do that this way. I can because the song, if you guys ever want to look it up, it's actually called just Wacky Sax. Wacky Sax. Like the saxophone. Is this it? I don't know. No, that's not that one. Anyway, I ain't gonna worry about it. Anyway, Poddex. So, Poddex is what's a job you never do, you never want to do, and why? Now, one job that I never want to do, I would say, is the porn industry, where you're getting pounded. That's not for me. I don't need those kind of back shots because that's one job I never want to do. Another job is, I guess you could say, what would be a good job? A job that I would never want to do. It's cow picking, like picking up some cow poop. I think I'll skip on that job. But yeah. So taking back shots is not something I would ever do as a job. So let's see. Who else? Let's see. What jobs are out there that you would not like to do? If you guys plan on doing, we doing Poddex right now, okay? So think of the job that you would never want to do and why. I really wish I had like some nice music in here so they don't cut me out. But again, like because the songs that I have the files are too big, so let's do some lo-fi stuff. I really don't like this. Like, kill these songs right here. I need to actually figure out like how to. I need to add some better songs on here. Okay. See what you're doing here with this music. Let me know if y'all can hear this pretty nicely. Okay, they can fade tracks in and out. All right. So they can fade it out. Okay. So let me know what jobs y'all don't want to do. I'll say work is an overrated period. Work is overrated period. I just want Powerball and vacations. Hey, I actually played the lottery. So if I hit, trust me, I'm doing this every day. Okay? I'm doing the podcast joint 100% of the time. They'll be like, man, Anthony, where you at? I'm chilling in my About That Wallet shirt. I got like 5 of these, by the way, so don't be judging me if y'all see every episode I got one of these on. 3 different shirts, okay? And the way how I keep the blacks black with my sponsor, well, not a sponsor, it's my affiliate, Earth Breeze. So if you go to aboutthatwallet.com/EarthBreeze, you can get yourself some. Man, I love this music. Okay. Could you imagine just like vibing out to this with your shot of Fireball? Oh my gosh. It does need to go with a little something, you know what I'm saying? Let's see, I hate any job that involves manual. I mean, you can't hate all the jobs, you know what I'm saying? Like, some of the jobs are actually pretty cool. So, think about it. Like, if you're there typing on the keys all day, okay, that's one thing. But imagine your job is for manual labor. I'm trying to think of a good manual labor job. You could say like, putting tables together, like this desk that I have, or like this shelf. Just putting that together. That's not a bad job. But you gotta tell me why. Why you don't like that either? And Soros, tell me a little bit more. What other job, like manual labor job? I mean, I know you got the guns out there, you know what I'm saying? You be showing them off a little bit. So we gotta see what jobs you don't like. Because of why we print our own money in the US. Why are we working? Hey, that's a good question. Why are we really working? Because I'm not sure if y'all saw that. Did y'all get a chance to see that guy that was on? He went in front of Congress and started talking about, get rid of, like, why are we working? AI should do all the jobs. AI should do the jobs, and we should stop working. Forgot what that guy is. He was in Congress somewhere, and it was just hilarious. Like, he just had like a hat on and everything like that. I'm not sure if y'all guys saw that. I'm trying to find it right now, so I can share with you all. Man, this bass is like catching me off guard though. Like, you know what I'm saying? I don't know about y'all, but I'm vibing out to this song right now. I might have to have this like as a regular thing, like all day. Like, I mean, okay, Soros, what do you say? I personally would hate to work in front of a computer. I mean, it pays the bills and all, but still. Hey, Pokova, what's going on, man? What's going on? Let's give a shout out to everybody. I like this. Let's see. I want to live a bougie, soft life. Manual labor ain't for me, Hey, I understand. Love yours, but we gotta do a little something. We can't keep our figure, our physique, if we out here just slouchy. You know what I'm saying? Just not doing our thing, vibing with our feet in the sand. You know what I'm saying? Socks off and just whatever. We gotta have some good times. Let's see. Oh, Satterfield, I know you're watching on Twitch. Dude, I was seeing you doing your thing over there earlier. I think I still got your match going on. Yo, this is how you can tell. Like, I got friends in so many places. It's great. So let's see what this guy's doing right now. Let's see if he's surviving. He ain't doing nothing. Look at gameplay. And if you guys want to follow, like, from Twitch, this guy Matty T squared down here. I'm gonna see if I can move myself so he can see this whole thing. So he's out here trying to do his thing over here. I get motion sickness after a while, so I usually don't watch the whole time. But I try to, support the guy. So, man, look at that shot though. Like, see the super zoom. This guy's good. You know what I'm saying? But yeah. But this is what I do. Like, I try to support as many people as I can support, because you never know how cool this is. And when people put in that time and that effort to take themselves to that next level, I mean, I'm sure he spent well over 1,000 hours trying to master and hone his craft. I could tell you that from the times I've been watching this guy play, he used to die like every 2 seconds, and to the point now where he's actually surviving a little bit longer. That is amazing. So, put in those repetitions, take yourself to that next level. Shucks, man, I got a little bit of time. We got 15 minutes. I'm gonna make this a full hour. So what do you guys have going on? So if you guys want me to talk about, we can do some research. I mean, we can talk about grants. We can talk about getting your business started. How many of you guys want to start your business or just don't know where to start? So I think it was a lot of people, because I know it's a delay from the time I see it versus the time you type it. So if you guys are actually interested in starting your own business, I can just show you right quick. It's a very quick, short steps. You can do this all for free on your own. And the only thing that you'll have to pay is, registering with the state or the city that you live in, which is, for the state of Maryland, it's $300 a year. It's like an annual fee. For DC, I think it's $200 per year for your business. And that's the only ones I know for right now. I mean, you can always research it. Are you guys looking to buy your first home? To kind of get you prepped up for that, I can talk about that right quick. All of this stuff. If you harbor with your budget or your money issues, I mean, I can talk about budgeting right now. Matter of fact, you know what? If you're looking to actually start your own, get your budget going, I do have my own budget calendar. So, let's see. What credit card do you recommend? Remember, this information is for entertainment purposes only. So that's what we're going to do, okay? Because of entertainment purposes only, it really depends on what you want to do in your life. So, Soros, what my question to you is, man, I really wish I could have my roadcaster working so you can actually call in, and I can actually give you your feedback. But because I can't allow call-ins right now, what do you want to use the credit card for? That's ultimately what you need to understand. Because there are credit cards for cashback, there are credit cards for travel, and I'm a travel guy. Okay, I love traveling, so I travel for free. Like as far as Uber and everything like that, I get cashback every time I use Uber. I get like food deliveries, and I get cashback for those food deliveries and percentages off. I just came from a conference. I didn't pay for the hotel and I didn't pay for the flight. So, I mean, it was all free for me to go to this event. The only thing I had to pay for was the event fee itself. I think I paid taxes or whatever, but that's about it. Let's see. I've heard good things about Chase Sapphire card. Okay. Let's share about this Chase Sapphire card. Why do you like the Chase Sapphire card? Now, if you like Chase Sapphire, I do have a Chase Sapphire card because I actually love that card. It's one of my favorite credit cards. Now, my question is, what made you want to pick this particular card? Like, do you want to travel? Because I could tell you all day how to use it for travel. But I really think it's the ultimate card. Just all around, like the best card. Now, one of the websites that I like to use, I'm going to share my screen. Share screen. Where is it? There we go. So this is what I look for. When you're looking at the Chase Sapphire, I actually go to other websites and so forth. So when they show their points here, they talk about the 60%, $60,000, 60,000 points or whatever this has a welcome offer. It's a lot better. You actually get more when you are using your when somebody sends you a referral code, and then that's if you spend like $4,000 purchases in the first 3 months. So that's the catch. Now I'm actually going to chase.com so you can actually just see exactly what I'm talking about here. Okay, I do have a login here, so I'm not gonna show you all my credit what I'm paying for it. Okay, personal cards. So the one I have is this one. Let's see. We can compare it to the Trust Sapphire Reserve because the Reserve one is just the cashback. Okay. So the reason why I say like, what do you really want out of it? Okay, the Reserve one, it seems like it's a little higher annual fee at $55 for annual fee. Now, the thing about it though, this is one thing that they don't really tell you. Okay, I'm gonna hide that out the way. Is that for those of you who are in the military that are watching this right now, you actually do get the American Express with no annual fee. So for those of you who are looking to get an American Express, let's see, American Express. I want to make sure you get all this information. Okay, so I just looked up, the release thing, so you actually can see that I'm not lying to you guys here. All right, so for service members, American Express provides relief for those who are active duty under the Service Members Civilian Relief Act and the Military Lending Act. Eligible for American Express credit cards may be entitled to relief under one of these conditions. So, I guess this was passed some time ago where you don't have to pay anything for the annual fees. So pretty much the annual fees are waived, which is amazing. I don't want to get American Express because I heard if I cancel, I hurt my credit. So, the thing about when it comes to credit cards, seems like we just gotta do like a quick understanding of what a credit card does and how it can hurt you overall. So when it comes to understanding, this music is it's a bit much right now. I'm gonna tone it down a bit. So one of the things about the credit cards is that you need to first understand what a credit card can do for you. Okay. Secondly is how and when should you cancel a credit card. Now, American Express and all the other credit card companies can hurt your credit when you go to cancel them. And that is across the board. It's universal. So no matter which one you're using, they will hurt your credit score. I know because I canceled 5 credit cards at one time, my credit score dropped down to a 324 credit score. Okay. Now I've had to slowly build myself back up. So now I'm actually at a 795, close to the 800. I'm so close to the 800 credit score. But I was able to actually turn my credit around within a short period of time. And when I mean short, I mean relatively in about 6 months or so. Because it does take time. This stuff isn't like quick turnaround time. But what are the things, the thing that's really impacting you is that when you go to cancel, is the length of the credit card. I mean, how long have you had the credit card? So I'm gonna look up the how credit is calculated. So when it comes to your credit, I'm actually going to put in here with Experian because I actually was recently featured with Experian to talk about credit, which is actually pretty awesome. So for those of you who didn't know, this is how your credit is mixed up. So you're talking about when you cancel your credit card, You're talking about your credit history and new credit. So because you just got some new credit, it will impact you to some degree. Your credit history is impacted when you go to cancel your card. Now, there's a strategy to canceling your card, so it does not impact you in the long term. So the way how you do that, again, this is just for educational purposes, is that you want to make sure that if your credit card is new, you can cancel that short, like say within a year or two, because you don't have that much credit history. Now, if you have a long card, say you had that bad boy for like maybe 10 years plus, when you go to cancel it, it's going to hurt your credit a lot more than your earlier credit. So understanding that your credit mix as well, so you don't have revolving credit. So your credit card is considered a revolving credit. Now, also you got to put into amount to the account of how much is owed. Okay, this is talking about how much do you have your credit utilization. That will impact your score. So if you cancel the card and you have debt associated with it, you're going to get impacted on both ends. But also you need to look at the payment history as well. So the payment history, let's say that your credit card is already paid for, you're in good standing and you close it. Okay, your credit history, it will show that your payment history will still be there, and it's usually will stay on to your credit for at least 7 years, the credit card. So when you go to cancel it, even when you go to cancel it, it will show up that it's there. But after the 7th year, things will look a little easier. Okay. So you need to put that into consideration. So I want to make sure you have that information when you're going into any of these credit cards. Okay. So now let's go back to Chase. Now that you understand on how the credit cards are utilized, now this is the benefits. I really don't pay attention to APRs, because if you pay your credit card off each month before the statement date, you don't have to worry about these percentages hitting your account at all. So you're fine. Again, like I said, these are educational purposes, so don't kill me. Now, the 5-time travel points, man, parking is considered traveling, okay? So if you had a parking lot and you swipe your card, you get some money. Every time, like I said, I get points back every time I use Uber, because it's signed directly at the Uber. When I'm doing dining out, this is 3 times points. So when I go out to eat or whatever, I'm jumping down. Online grocery purchases like Target, Walmart, I'm getting money back, okay? Like, these points help me travel for free. And these points are set up to the point where now, in case for any reason that I need to travel at a last minute notice, or say like the power was out because the electrician was here, and that's the reason why I was late today. But if it was going to take more than the time allotted, I can just say, hey, I'm gonna just stay at a hotel, and I don't have to come out of pocket because I'll use my credit card points to pay for the hotel for the night. And I can just live there for a little bit, and then once everything's done back here at the house, I can just be up and running. So I don't have to come out of pocket any more than I have already by buying all this stuff. And oh man, I need to switch over my credit card, because the credit card that I'm using now to pay for like my streaming services, I'm not getting 3x points. So I'll be switching that over tomorrow. And then also dollar for everything else. So obviously using your credit card points, this is the reason why I asked you, what do you want to use your points for? And this is one of the things that I want to make sure that you have all that information. Please let me know if you're still here, because I can talk your head off about this stuff. I really love it. And the point transfer is amazing. So if there's a hotel that Chase is already associated with, you can actually transfer those points to anything that you need. And I think that's great, because it allows the flexibility to be synced up to other hotels inside the Chase or even Verizon, Visa's network, that you can actually transfer the points so that you can, do all the fun traveling. Hopefully I answer your question in enough detail so that you can have an educated information for when you go to select your credit card when you're ready. All right. So that takes me up to the last 30 seconds, everybody. I really do hope that you got some awesome information today. And I wish you all the best because, man, it's getting late. It's getting late. Oh, yeah, I don't know this song. Anyway, y'all take it easy. I'm out. Peace.